Like I was high on him.
Count them out.
Here we go, baby. It's Nebraska, aka Matt Rule year 2, aka Lil Mahomes, Dylan Raiola. He wears 15 and everything. Now, can he put it all together? Right here, first year of college football. Now, the win total for the Cornhuskers over at FanDuel Sportsbook is 7.5. You mentioned some of the left tackle, linebacker. We've had some injuries that have started to pile up. I wanted to save it for this part, but don't we put a little bit of added confidence when we're adjusting to defensive injuries because of the leadership and history of Tony White and just sort of the way how sound that group has been year in and year out? And I expect, correct me if I'm wrong, they will be a very, very good defense again. Is there any reason to think otherwise?
No, they will face more competent passing attacks this year than they did last year. So we'll have to see how the secondary holds up. I am no edge at this price, literally.
Same.
So there are a couple prices out there in the market where I show a kind of bettable edge to the under, but not at plus 100. So flip a coin. What we got here? Let's see. We'll spin an ant tube. All right. I'm over. Whatever.
Maybe did that wake the ants up?
It did not. No. Nor did the ring light. I'm not really sure what they're doing. So with Nebraska, I think they will be able to run the football well. I have some concern for them when they play some of the better passing teams, and there is some uncertainty on this schedule about how good some of these passing teams will be. For instance, how good is Colorado? I think their receivers are pretty awesome. Can they pass protect? That I don't know about. Can Purdue, is at Purdue no longer a dangerous game for the Cornhuskers? That's kind of what this gets down to. Are they past losing to Purdue on the road? Because Purdue can throw it around a little bit, right? Is at Indiana a team and a game they could lose because Indiana can chuck it around with Rourke? UCLA probably can throw it around pretty good this year, I think, based on who they have at receiver and the quarterback. What about Wisconsin? USC, we know can throw. So there are more dangerous passing games on this Nebraska schedule than they had last year by a lot. So I am slightly under, but I spun the ant tubes from going over because I don't really show an edge. This is a good number. It's been hammered into place for 15 weeks now.
Dylan Raiola worshiping Patrick Mahomes makes sense for Nebraska because Patrick Mahomes is the past, Caleb Williams is the future. So for Nebraska, that just plays. But I'm also on the under here because I think Nebraska is going to be better this year. I do think they're going to get to a bowl game this season, which is a step forward for them compared to how things have gone in recent years. But I kind of want to pump the brakes a little bit in that I just don't know if this team is going to win 8 games. It seems like you're asking a lot of a program that struggled to win 6 to just jump up to 8, especially when the league as a total is getting more difficult because you've added 4 more schools to it. So I'm pumping the brakes a little bit and just kind of betting on the lower end of the projection, which I think has been a safer bet with Nebraska in recent years. But I'm also with you, bud. It's I don't see an edge on either side of this one actually betting it. I think 7-5 is more likely than 8-4, but it's not like it's a huge gap, nor is there, I think, a huge gap between 7-5 and 6-6. So under.
Colorado could be a game that you play that Colorado might decide it.
Yeah.
If you wanted to play I've got no edge, kind of could see it going this way, could see it going that way. That's the game where if Nebraska wins it, this thing could finish 8-4. I mean, the Rutgers game is in Lincoln. The UCLA game is in Lincoln. The Wisconsin game is in Lincoln. I'm like you. I am right on 7.5, forced to go one way or the other. I would lean over, but to me, the Colorado game probably decides it. So if Shedeur goes in there and throws for 345 yards and 4 touchdowns and Colorado wins because Nebraska wasn't able to hold things together on the back end of the defense, then that's just one game, but it probably ends up deciding the win total, at least the way that, this thing is breaking down. So I'm going to give Nebraska, UTEP, Northern Iowa, Illinois. I will give Nebraska the game at Purdue. And I will give Nebraska the game at Indiana. With a lot of those other toss-ups on the schedule, I'm sort of hammered in there. So you said that this number hasn't moved. It's just been sitting at 7.5 for a couple months. Yes.
I don't know what it opened at, actually.
I think it's been 7.5 the whole time, but I'm not 100% on that.
Interesting. All right, Nebraska. We got everybody's locked in. Choose your flavor there. Maybe just bet the Colorado game, whether you're leaning over or under. How many games are going to win this fall?